done is different. We were just talking about how we have literally walked in the snow, we walked in blistering heat, we walked in sand, we've walked in gravel, we've walked in dirty puddles. We've walked in so many situations, and every time we do this, I'm reminded what this whole thing is about. We spent a little bit of time in Africa when we were recording this album, and it wasn't the first time for us to see poverty or people struggling with disease. In fact, we've been really blessed in the fact that we've been able to travel the world and see people in a lot of situations, ways that broadens your perspective on the world. But when we were in Africa, there was a realization that hit the three of us, which was everybody waits for a perfect solution. Everybody feels as though they're the unempowered. They feel as though there's somebody that's smarter, that has bigger, better ideas. And meanwhile, we're all out here with all these resources, all these things that we can do, and all of us are feeling like we're the unempowered, and nobody's doing anything. If you look at the challenges in Africa with AIDS, it feels like that's something that's really far away from us, something that we don't have a stake in. But there's never been a disease that has been wiping out a whole generation of people that are the mothers, that are the fathers, that are working, the working class, and children. It actually discriminates against youth and vitality. It's a disease that discriminates against people that are in their prime. And it's your peers, it's our peers. What we saw in Africa was a realization that we have a stake in what happens anywhere in the world where people are struggling with injustice and struggling with not having the ability to help themselves. We had the realization that we had something we could use, even if it was small. So as a band, we said, let's do the thing that everybody thinks is just a cliche for bands to do, but we're going to release a charity single because that's the best tool we've got. We don't care what anybody thinks. We're just going to do it because it's the best tool we've got. So we put a song up called Great Divide, and we said, let's do whatever we can with this song. We'll sell a t-shirt. We'll raise money in some way. And amazingly, through a 99-cent download, thousands of dollars have been raised and helped over 2,000 kids just in this last fall. Help them find access to medical care, help them find access to treatment, help them find access to a safe place. And so this little 99-cent download from one band is one step. But what hit us was we were getting people asking us, okay, that's great. Well, what can I do? What's the next step? The walk is the beginning of the journey for all of us. This is this reminder that we all need. Everybody needs that push that says, you are not the unempowered, you are not somebody that is on the sidelines. You guys are smack dab in the middle. You guys are the leaders. You guys are the ones that are going to set the standard. It's interesting that I think every generation has challenges that they're faced with. Some groups of people have chosen to rise to the occasion and become a force to be reckoned with. And I think that's what we can become. Not in a way that is all of us flying across to Africa or becoming humanitarians or going and hugging trees and, singing Kumbaya. Though we can do that. But really deciding as a generation that we have things we can use in our everyday life, actions that we can take, steps that we can take with our jobs, with our ideas, with the people we influence, because we are more empowered than any group of people ever. It's funny because we've done these walks 68 times. This is our 68th mile today. And make some noise for 68. So 68 times we walk outside and we look out at you guys and we feel humbled and also curious whether what we're doing is too small. In some cases you're blown away by, wow, there's all these people. In some cases it's you and a few people. And over I'm reminded this demonstration, this action is exactly what we all need. We all need a push from our peers. We all need a tap on the shoulder that says, keep going. We all need somebody that says, that's not too small, that's not too little to give.
There's something that I want to actually say, which is that many people have asked us, guys, why don't you have big signs? Why aren't you walking around handing people big signs and saying, let's make this a demonstration? The reason is because if we are all more worried about holding up signs and asking somebody else to pay attention, we're actually looking in the wrong direction. The opportunity that we have today on this walk is to realize this walk is not so that other people know. This walk is so that we know, and so that we understand our own power as individuals, so that we ask ourselves, why am I walking? Why am I here? If you ask that question, that's way more important, because at the end of the day, you might be leading a walk. And you know what? We would follow you if you will lead that walk. Because this is about you guys understanding your power. This is not about others saying, oh, why are there hundreds of people walking down the street with signs, with Hanson in front of them? That's not the question. The question is to ourselves, how are we living our lives? What are we doing? And what is the power that we have? And how can we get out there and change the world a day at a time? That is incredibly important. There are also a lot of young ladies. There are also a lot of young ladies at this walk, and I think that is actually really poignant and important, because the disproportionate number of AIDS cases are women. A huge percentage of women are contracting the virus way faster than men are. And it's a very important thing to be reminded of as young ladies, because you guys have not only the opportunity to go out there and say, you know what, this is about saving lives, this is about educating people, this is about giving rights to people who do not otherwise have them. This is also about the rights of women in the world, women exactly like you. They may or may not have a different color of skin, they may or may not be from a different part of the world, but they are just like you. And the only difference that we have in our path, in our life, is that our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our parents either died or sacrificed for the privilege that we have today. And so we are here at the privilege of the sacrifice of the people who came before us. And so what we need to do is honor our grandparents, honor our great-grandparents, and our parents' sacrifice, and say, you know what? They're going to be proud of what I did in the world. And that is what this is about. And that is not about guilt. That is about power. That is about getting on the top of some tree and screaming at the top of your lungs and going, I got it. I got the power. We have a lot of steps to go, but before we go, I want to talk about one of the actions or supporting through this walk. Who's walking barefoot today? Let me see your hands again. So we walk barefoot for a couple of reasons. One reason is because we all need a reminder that we can feel a basic need like a pair of shoes or a lack thereof, and understand that really the idea of giving somebody something as simple as a pair of shoes, or starting as simple as giving someone a gift of that nature, really can truly make an impact. As you walk a mile, you're going, okay, I wouldn't want to be without. I wouldn't want to be without even the basic things. So the second reason is because we literally want to talk about how we can do simple things, reminders that we can really do simple things that make a difference. Through the walkthrough, we partnered with a great company called Tom's Shoes. They're a good example for all of us because they're a company that started their business with the idea of giving back from the beginning. Every time you buy a pair of their shoes, they donate a second pair to a child in poverty. And when we started the walks, we sat down with Tom's and said, we want to encourage people to get involved. We want to encourage people to help you guys reach your goals with Tom's Shoes. So through the walks, one by one, thousands of you guys have joined us. Thousands of people have bought Tom's Shoes. We've helped Tom to give over 50,000 pairs of shoes thanks to you guys.